Yeah, look, he stayed patient early on in the game. He was trusting his teammates, and then he was a recipient of their execution and his trust in them early on. Dylan, Todd Withers, Ben Henschel, Keanu Pinder, Pepper had a nice spell in the fourth quarter. Like, when teams want to do that, we have to be able to make them pay and capitalize with other guys. But we did a great job of sharing the ball, trusting each other, and that's why, like, Bryce had 44, we had 128, so our assist to turnovers was good, and when you play the right way, you get rewarded.
Particularly in that first quarter, did you almost expect them to blitz him on pretty much the majority of possession?
We're expecting it just because the last time we played here, they weren't as aggressive as what we'd been seeing from other teams. So we just took a stab in the dark that they would change up the coverage. But he made great reads, and we capitalized on it.
Yeah, just on those reads, that's another element of the game. You seem to find yourself and teammates a lot in that first quarter, and you had 22 points at the first break. Does that speak a lot to your teammates as well as just the depth of the score?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Todd Withers, his situation we talk about a lot, but he just comes in, takes a defensive assignment, seems to be able to make big threes in big moments of the games. Elijah Pepper hasn't been playing a whole lot for us, but he had a nice little spurt there, I think, towards the end of the fourth quarter. But as I said, it all comes back to if you play the right way, you trust your teammates and put them in spots to be successful, it's amazing what it can do for you.
Just touching on Keanu's game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look, for him to come back after being ill, coming off the bench, he brought great energy. He kept it very simple. When you come back and play a former team, sometimes you get a little excited to play them. But once again, he got some easy ones around the rim. His energy defensively, he ran the floor. So for him to come back and play that way was great. Yep.
Cool, and we'll go to Zoom. Do we have any questions online?
Oh, David. John, can you talk about the different ways Bryce has managed to score these? There was only 3 threes today. He's doing it different ways each game. Can you talk about the challenge of how he's been able to do that and what you're doing around that to help him with it?
Look, I think right now our spacing is just really good. That allows him to play into a lot of space, and then defenses have a decision to make. And as I just touched on before, in my time as coach of the Perth Wildcats, Bryce is a willing passer and a great decision maker. Right now we're in a good groove where guys are utilizing the way he's being defended to our advantage. And you saw it tonight, he trusts his teammates, we capitalize, and then you have some decisions to make on how you want to defend us then.
And when you're now averaging 119 across your last 5 games, do you feel like your attacking groove is as good as you could have hoped for at the moment?
Yeah, and look, it's not about the amount of points. It's the way we play, 24 assists, 7 turnovers. If you play that way, you're going to give yourself a chance to put those type of points up. And what I'll look at is, I can't really remember too many shots where I'm standing on the sideline going, oh, that was a bad one. We were generating some really good looks for each other. But the second half, we were dialed in defensively. Dylan did a great job on Edwards' second half. And that just sparks us, that gets the opposition on their back heels. So.
Dylan, you're hitting some threes from a long, long way out at the moment. You must be feeling like you're seeing them well.
Yeah, I put a lot of work in on those shots. I shoot those in practice a lot because I know, in the flow of our offense, it's hard to guard me out there. So, I just try to make that shot as efficient as possible. If I shoot it at a high enough clip, I feel like it's a good shot for us.
And what's the key you feel from a rhythm perspective with this group being able to score so well right now?
It starts with BC, and, like Coach was saying, just his maturity on the ball when he's getting doubled to be able to pass out of that and just make the right play and be patient. When you're averaging 50 points your last 3 games, to be able to be patient and just pass out of that double That shows maturity for him as a player. And, when we get out of that double and he hit the short roll, it's hard to guard. We got too many shooters, too many guys that can play in that short roll action and get to the bucket. So it starts with him, and then everybody else fanning out and be ready to shoot.
John, last time you were in Cairns, you were denied a point with a scoring issue. There was a scoreboard issue with you again today, which you had to point out you were denied 2 during the second quarter. Is that frustrating to be in that position again?
No, why would that be frustrating?
I'll rephrase then. How do you feel about that situation that you had to raise?
We bought a young gentleman by the name of Ben Peterson, and he bought his calculator, so we were on top of it.
Is it something that needs to be rectified by the league?
Craig, you can email those guys and ask them that question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chris.
I'll try to follow that. Dylan, you touched on your deep three-point shooting. With you, though, it's not so much a deep shot. That's what you're used to shooting in the NBA. Is that why you feel so comfortable taking the shots from a little deeper out than most other guys?
Obviously the line is a little bit deeper in the NBA, but I've been shooting that shot since college, even in high school. I just, worked on expanding my range, starting in high school, just shooting a lot of deep threes in practice, just being able to use my legs and make that an efficient shot. Like I said, I feel like if I can shoot that at 40% unguarded, it's a good shot for us. So,
how would you describe what it's like playing with Bryce right now? What's it like being his teammate over this stretch?
Yeah, it's just fun to play with him, fun to watch. Like you're saying, he's scoring in a lot of different ways right now. That's the most impressive. With his size, being able to take guys off the dribble, be creative, finishing in the paint, it's impressive. And then, like I said, his maturity to get off the ball when teams are doubling him, and just being patient and knowing the ball's going to come back to him. It's fun playing with him, and just seeing him hit a lot of tough shots. It's fun to see, and it gets us going.
You did a great job yourself on James Bateman a couple of weeks ago. If you had to guard Bryce in a game right now, what would you hold him to?
There's no telling right now. I don't think anybody can hold him to anything. You just got to put a hand up and pray. So, there's no telling.
John, you touched on the defense before. I'm sure you weren't thrilled with it at halftime, but the second half buy-in defensively, the whole team to 35 points after they were feeling pretty good in the first half. I think you would have been delighted with that end as well.
Yeah, look, this week finally convinced my assistant coaches we needed to do some defensive drills at practice, so it paid dividends in the second half, so we'll continue with those drills moving forward.
Very good. Keanu as well, good to see him back and good to see him play well. Got a double-double. He's plus 32 in his 23 minutes. It was a good return.
Yeah, look, very, very good. We've got good rhythm and balance with our front court. Like Keanu come in and played very well. David Queris giving us meaningful minutes. Hiram Harris, but then there's a guy called Jesse Wagstaff that's functioning pretty good as well. So Etan's, we've seen in the last month how he's coming along. So those guys really complement each other. We got different ways of attacking with those guys because they're all different skill set in their own right. So but very good to have KP back because you can see his energy at the defensive end, what it can do for us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.